So meantime, it's okay. 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 Uh, okay. Guys, which experiment we had completed? This seventh B. Did we complete 7B experiment? I think LCD also started for you guys. I guess. I think we did LCD. Some of you got the output also. I believe that day. LCD output. So today what we do is we'll let us look into the the Proteus software. I think you guys got a copy of Proteus software. You must have downloaded from the drive link shared with you all. You can download the software. Okay, just let me share the screen. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay. Oh yes. So Proteus software, is used for various applications. So I'll show you that now. Just a second. Proteus. What is this? This folder. Hold on a second. I'll. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Proteus tutorial. Okay. Let's hold on a second. I'm opening the. Okay. Yes. Here we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. Because now, will let us look into the Proteus software. I guess a few of you are, most of you must have installed also, no problem. Those are not installed, let us look into its installation part, and then we'll see some few examples of programs, how to program using Proteus software, how to design a system using Proteus software. Let us look into that. Okay. So here in the programs. Eighth experiment is using LCD, you know, LCD interfacing to 805 microcontroller. Ninth experiment is the exercise program. Is okay. This they are included. They'll be included for the exam purpose also, not that it is just for the practice purpose. So this you have to do on your own, and you have to write in the record also. Okay. So this ninth experiment, of course, there are four sub experiment. This can be taken as 9A, 9B, 10A, 10B. Very simple. Okay. So totally there are 10 experiments. Okay. Um, in eighth experiment, there's one exercise problem also. Okay, that is write a program in embedded C to control the display of a message on LCD screen using two buttons in the following pattern. Okay, for timing, you can execute these programs in the Proteus software. Once the classes resumes, then we'll do this experiment in the hardware. Okay, so LCD, I think in your batch is started. I think you're the first batch to to start with the LCD interface in in the entire batches among other batches. Okay, so first let us look into Proteus design software called as Proteus Design Suite. What it is used for? It is used for various purposes. Let me open this. Okay, lot of softwares we have to open. Yes, here we go. Okay, so in fact I got two tutorials. In this I downloaded it from internet. I think it's already shared, or else I'll share it, no problem. Okay, why Proteus software is used. Okay, what is the advantage of using a Proteus software. Okay, so things are explained in little detail. Okay, so you can go to this. This document is from the lab center, that is which owns the Proteus software. Okay, so the various purpose for which the Proteus software is used, or in other words, what are the modules which Proteus software supports basically. Okay, so let us look into that. Here it is. Okay, so basically it is used for what is known as a schematic design. Plus, if you have used MATLAB software, I guess you have used. There we have a Simulink. If you guys Simulink, I think you guys are aware, Simulink. So there it is basically a schematic. So basically we take the components, we interface, and we execute. We simulate and we'll see the response. Okay, so there is a kind of a schematic design. Okay, so that we do it using various softwares. One example is a MATLAB Simulink. Okay. Similarly, we have in this Proteus software, what is known as what do you call that? Okay, so we have a software. We have a component, one of the module of a the Proteus is what is known as a schematic design. It is used to create schematics. What is schematic? Basically, it is a interfacing of various components. For simulation purpose. This represents hardware components. Basically, physically they represent hardware component. Uh, uh, at tool level, it represents a schematics modules. This is a virtual hardware for simulation purpose and for logical design for PCB, because once the hardware is ready, we can convert this into PCB, because ultimately what we want is a PCB. Of course, not part of our laboratory, but this actual design. Okay, because PCB is the stable hardware, which is not prone to errors or physical faults. Okay, so PCB is preferred. Okay, so for that we have to start with the schematic design. Okay, so because once the design is made sure that it is working fine, then we can go for a PCB. Okay, straight away we cannot start with a PCB. So because it is not possible. So this is PC, the schematic. So where all the components, various components are interfaced and simulated to check the the functionality. You can see that there is Arduino here. We can use the Proteus software for Arduino simulation of Arduino environment also. Arduino is a platform, as you guys are. I think most of you are aware of Arduino boards, Raspberry Pi, and let us say Aryabhatta boards. All these, basically platforms on which we can design a embedded hardware. We can implement an embedded application. Next is what is known as a firmware design. The other purpose for which the Proteus software is used is for what is known as a firmware design. This is involves writing your own program to control the circuit, then simulate, test, and debug the entire embedded system in Proteus. Yes, the reason is that, for example, We can use the Proteus software for even for a combinational circuit design. For example, a off-adder circuit. We can design off-adder circuit using basic gates. There is XOR gates and basic AND gates, and we can simulate and we can get the output. This combination circuit does not involve any programming. Once we go for a programming, so the modules are programmed, for example, microcontroller, so that we can simulate the hardware environment. There is embedded system. We can test it as well as we can debug the system, so that we can implement a embedded system in a Proteus software. Yeah. So for embedded, so firmware means it is a combination of both. This firmware indicates it is the module with a programmed content. Program content means it has a ROM memory where the code is written. So then we can call it as a firmware. The general meaning of a firmware is, as I tell you, hold on a second, somebody is on the line. Okay. General meaning of a firmware is, guys, in fact, we also call it as a ROM image, which is just for your information. ROM image, also called as a firmware. Um, what this ROM image consists of, what it involves is, this is a simple memory which has, which is a ROM memory, which has both the code as well as data, both code as well as data. Once this is done, this can be implemented on an hardware which executes this code using this data to implement a particular application. This we call it as a ROM image, also called as a firmware. Also called as a firmware. Okay. Yes. So this can be, so that means the hardware also has a programming part. When we have a program, there should be a data. Very simple. Okay. So that we call it as a firmware. You can see that image, sample image here. So some modules has a programs also. Okay. Program written for a particular module. So what we deal here is with the microcontrollers. So we'll write the program for a microcontroller. Then comes the PCB design. So we can use the Proteus to design PCBs to convert our schematic into PCB design. So working with a virtual prototype, and now place and route is a function is in a PCB model. Place and route the physical PCB. So that means our schematic is converted into a prototype. It is called as a virtual prototype, which can be placed on the PCB hardware, and it can be routed. Routed means the software will route, move the components, rearrange the components in such a way that it can optimize the component occupancy on the PCB, so that the size of the PCB is smaller. So okay, smaller PCB, more functionality. So for that, routing is very important. Okay, routing, because there will be VCC line as well as ground line. So this should be managed. There should not be any short. There should not be any short between various lines. Okay? So all this is managed using root application of the software. So this is a professional constraint-driven layout tools. Constraint-driven means there are various constraints given as a specification to the this software, so that the software can come out with a more efficient PCB design. So this is one of the application of a Proteus software. Okay, next is 3D visualization, MCCAD. Uh, this is used for a 3D viewer for a visual inspection, and for export to MCCAD tools like SolidWorks. Okay, this is we can interface this MCCAD tools to the system or PC wherever we work with the Proteus software, and we can transport or export this design to MCAD tools as well as SolidWorks for a display purpose. Okay. Next is hardware prototype. Verify that your firmware works on the real hardware. Okay. Like for example, FPGA. So we can burn it on FPGA and we can check whether our hardware is working as expected or as designed. FPGA stands for Field Programmable Gate Arrays. Okay. Here we go. Okay, these are the various purpose for which Proteus software is used. And okay, yeah, here we go. So for us, the point of for us important point is the microcontroller simulation where the Proteus is used, and this is very helpful, especially for a microcontroller based environment simulation. Proteus is the preferred tool. Okay, so where we can simulate various embedded systems. Okay, this is about brief description into the Proteus software. So now let us look into the the installation. If you have installed, fine, or else we will look into this video quickly. This is just a, of course, 4-minute video. We can fast forward and we can yes, here we go. Okay, guys, when you download the package, it is shared it is shared because Proteus is a commercial software. It is not freely available. What we are using is a cracked version. Okay, and hence you when you download to um, even extract, you get these two packages. Okay, one is before the, just a second. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that's the statement given by this. Okay, video creator. Okay, so there are two folders, crack and setup. In the crack, there are two folders. One is steps to be followed before installing this Proteus software. Another after installing the Proteus software. Okay, so I think I can. So if you click on that, you will find this license key, license module. Click on that. Where is it? Okay, and then freshly install, close. Okay, so this is the first step in the installation. Next step, install the software, extract, and in the folder shared with you guys, that this zip file is already extracted, so you can straight away install the software. You need not extract, it's already extracted. So this, let me, okay, so after extracting, install, just installation is as usual, I mean, just like a normal software installation. Mm, okay, you can go for a typical or custom, so where you can modify the path, program data path. You can you can select on any location of your choice. That's all. Okay. Default it is set by the software. You can select. Okay, so these are the models which are installed along with the Proteus. Here it is. Essentially the models. Okay, here it is. So what are the modules which is installed along with the Proteus? One is Proteus, PCB, schematic, VSM, and Direct X9. Okay, these modules are installed. Okay, it's installed. Okay, so this will install the software. Once the software is installed, this video is also shared with you guys. Not okay. Yes, here we go. By default, there's no change in this. In this, until and unless you want a particular path, you can go for it. Next, after installation, what steps to be followed? That is, we have to copy the key for the working of the the software. Copy these two folders. That is bin and models. Go to the path in the system where the it is installed. It is in the usually Lab Center Electronics. There is a company which owns the Proteus software, Proteus 8 Professional. In that folder, copy these two folders. Very simple. Okay. Once it is copied, now we are ready to now it can be used. It is ready, and you can start using the software. Okay, it's fine. In this video, of course, they show how to use the software. Let us understand that here. Okay. 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 So now, once you run the, once after installation, when you open the software, this is what we get to see. One second. Now, yes. Okay. Yes. Now, what we can do is we can start working with the Proteus software. It's very user friendly and very useful, especially for embedded application. Click on. You can go to File and you can click on New Project, or you find a menu here in Start. There is New Project. You can click on that. Just hold on a second. It is loading. Yes, here we go. I think is actually, okay. When you click on new project, no, not this. I think is opening the. Hold on a second. Close project so that I can. Okay, click on new project. Okay, yeah. Now it will open a this interact this window. Here you can change the name of the project. Okay, you can give any name. I think that I gave some name. Experiment. Like let's say even batch experiment 8. Experiment. Something like this. You can give any name. There's no restriction on the name. Okay. The dot extension should not be changed because it stands for Proteus Design Suite Project. So make sure that dot extension is not changed. You can change the path. You can use any path. Okay. So for timing, okay, let me change it to. You can change it to anywhere. It's not an issue. You can select the path where you are going to install the um, you know uh, the project file. Okay, so let me select desktop. You can select the path of your choice. There's no problem. Select the folder and click next. Okay. Here the first step is we have to create a schematic because that's our ultimate intention. Now when we select create schematic, there are various the uh, themes options are shown like landscape. What is the themes option? When we select one of the theme option, the project, that the the area where we are going to place the component, that is editable space, that size of that space will vary, okay, depending on what we select, which module we select. Okay, to start with we can start with default because since it depends on our requirement, where when we know the size of our schematic. If it is too large, then you go for a bigger size. Otherwise better to go for default. For our laboratory purpose, default is sufficient. Okay, so select default, click next. Okay, now we are not planning to create any PCB model, so click on do not create PCB. Okay, next is no firmware project. We are not converting into a firmware anyway because firmware comes when there is a memory, so we are going to burn into memory. We are doing at a simulation level, schematic level. No firmware. Click next. It will give the summary. So we have selected schematic and particular default module and the theme size, editable window. Click finish. Okay, because this is what the theme size was. So it gave the option of providing the various theme size, editable space. We selected default. So default has this much of space. For bigger space or smaller space we can go for a other themes. This is quite good enough for our purpose. Okay, yes, next is placement of the component. First thing is, you can see on the left hand side all the tools or tools required for our purpose are placed. Okay, so the first one is actually the selection mode. Okay, where we have to move the components. For that purpose, we go for a selection mode. Second one is a component mode. So first select component mode. Now click on P. On this left hand side, you can see this P symbol. Click on P. P for part selection. So we're going to select a part. To start with, let us say, let us start with the microcontroller because ultimately we need that. So which microcontroller we have to make use of? 8089 S52. 8089 S52. But what we find here is that 8089 S52 is not available. Okay. So what we can do is we can use a similar software, a similar sorry, microcontroller 8089C. Okay, 52 is also not available. Okay, 8089 52 is available. Sorry, 8089 52 is available. Either you can select 8089 C52 or the other possibility is 8089 C51. If you see 8089 C51, the only difference between C51 and C52 is C51 is 4 kilobyte 33 megahertz, 2 timers and UART module. If you go for C52, it has 8 kilobyte memory, 256 bytes of data memory, 33 megahertz, 3 timers. Instead of 2 timers in 889C51, here there are 3 timers. So this is this has higher memory, and the function wise it is similar to our basic microcontroller. that is 889S52. But 889SC51 has a features very close to that of a 8089S52. So that's why you can select 8089C51. Select 8089C51. Okay, and you can see that various other, for example, this controller, it is a 64 kilobyte code memory. Okay, of course, maximum size is 64 kilobyte code memory, 40 megahertz clock frequency. It includes watchdog timer. Watchdog timer helps in whenever the voltage fluctuates, it helps in protecting the microcontroller by restarting the microcontroller. It has its own application, watcher timer, three timers as well as UID. Okay, so various features. So select 8018 and C51, click on OK. And you can see that on the left hand side the component is placed. Below P, you can see that the component is placed. Click on the component, and in the preview window, you can see the component, which component is being selected. Okay, so click on the component, drag it, and click on this editable space. You can place it anywhere. Let us place it somewhere. No problem. Anywhere you can place it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now, so let us do a simple, simple LCD. Okay, since we have done that, let us not do that. Let us straight away go for a LCD experiment. No problem. Okay. Okay. What about the other components? For example, you can select, what do you call LCD LEDs. LED display devices. LEDs, there are various types, like analog D relays, a lot of things. Okay, so whenever you select LED, you have to select display. There are what is known as display, not this one, of course. I will tell you, not even this one. There will be LED display devices, mm, with various colors. Okay, LED. I think this one. Yeah, here it is, guys. Okay, active devices with various colors, like blue color. Okay, so it has a blue, just like in laboratory we had white and red color LEDs. Similarly, you can select a particular color LED. So click on that LED with that component, click on OK. That component is added to the devices window, devices space. Click on that and you drag it, and you can place anywhere here. Okay, and place, okay, and place anywhere here, so that you can make a connection. Okay, similarly we have what is known as a seven segment display, because I'm showing all this one because all these are required for our purpose. Seven segment display and device. So here you go for seven segment display. There are various seven segment displays. Okay, wait, I'll show you one, because there are, again, you can observe, there are two types: common anode as well as common cathode. Which one to select? Okay, and what is the difference? Okay, in this symbolic logic, the symbol wise. Okay, if I select this one, for example, there are two what you call display devices. We tell you, this is common anode and this is common cathode. Okay, I'll select both so that we can see the difference between both the, you know both the devices. Seven segment display. um, okay, and I selected, okay, seven segment display common anode. Now I'll select seven segment display common cathode. Yeah, here it is, common cathode. Okay, and we'll see what is the difference. Okay, very simple. So now let us say, this is which one? Okay, seven segment display, this one, and that was common cathode, and this is what is known as a common anode. Okay, yes, if you observe the difference, guys, it's very simple. This, okay, here it is. In one case, you can see that there are eight pins. Of course, in the hardware we have the pins on uh, the top and bottom. When we hold the seven segment like this, the pins are on the these two end. Okay, so this corresponds to pin number 5. That is decimal point. Okay, in the Protea software, we don't find this kind of icon. We don't find this kind of a tool. Okay, we find this kind of tools where we can see the pins on one side, and this pin is the common pin. That is pin number 3 or pin number 8. Okay, so this, if it is given at the bottom, that corresponds to common cathode. Why? Because in common cathode, all the cathodes are connected to ground. All the cathodes are connected to ground. This indicates it is a ground point. So this we have to connect ground to this point. For example, let me pick the ground also. We'll understand. To for VCC and ground we have a additional function called as the terminals. This is called as a terminal mode. Here you can select power, that is VCC. Okay, we can select the, just a second. Okay, we can select the power. Okay, so place power somewhere here. Okay, let me place it here, and ground. Okay, so ground, similarly we can get ground like this. Okay, so for a common cathode, this terminal 3, pin number 3 or 8 is connected to ground. For a common anode, this is a common anode type of sensing. Of course, it is not the color. You can select the color also. In common cathode also, you get a red color display, not a problem. In common anode, this is pin number 3. Pin number 3 or 8. Okay, so this can be connected to the VCC. This is connected to VCC. Okay, so here in the logic symbol, you don't, it may not be specified whether it is a common anode or common cathode. This pin indicates it is a common anode or a common cathode. So how to make a connection for a this kind of 7-segment display? Click on, move the mouse in the component selection mode. You need not, we don't have a separate function for wire. Okay, just click on the move the mouse over it over the pin. You'll see that there is this, a red what you call let me zoom in. Okay, something else. Okay, you can see the red rectangle, so that indicates it's a editable no, no, space which is used for the connecting the multiple components using a wire. Okay, similarly you can notice that that rectangle symbol appears, so you can make a connection. You just drag it, you need not click it. Click once and start dragging, so that you can connect it to wherever you want. Very simple. Is that okay, guys? And what about the other pins, guys? Other pins are connected to port pins. For example, this is a common cathode. So these are connected to port pins. For example, P2.0 to P2.7. Very simple. P2.7. Like this. Okay. So this is for the 7-segment display. So the other component what we connect is the switches. So other component what we use in our experiment is switches. Which switch to use in the Proteus software? We will go to component mode. Okay, select P. Uh, Search for what is known as push button. You can search for what you call switch also. You'll get this component. No problem. Okay, click on this and click OK. You can see that button is selected. Click on this and you can, I think something else selected. Okay, you can place it anywhere you want. Okay, and if you want to change its orientation, right click on the component. You can see various orientation possible. Rotate anti-clockwise, rotate 180-degree. Okay, rotate mirror xy, that is vertical axis, mirror horizontal axis, all this is possible. Okay, so accordingly we can make a connection to the switches in the to the microcontroller. The other possibility is the resistors. What we require is for push button interface as well as for LED interface or 7-segment in the in display device, we go for a resistor. So we can use a 10 kilo ohm resistor. Click on 10. You search it as 10K. Very simple. Okay, we get lot of things, really lot of components. You can select. You can see that resistor 10 kilo ohm. So there is a lot of components with yeah, here it is. I think this should be good enough. Okay, digi-key component. Select with the tolerance also. They have shown the tolerance also. Select one, click OK. So it will add it to the devices list. Okay. So then once it is ready, you can start using the. I think it's not ready. Oh yeah, this is the resistance. Correct. This is a 10 kilo ohm resistance. You can place it anywhere you want. 10 kilo ohm resistance. We don't find this kind of resistance, not this kind of. It's a rectangle shape which indicates a resistance. This is one of the component. What about the other component, guys? Resistor, potentiometer. we need potentiometer for the the LCD display. How to select potentiometer? So we can go for a what is known as a pot. Of course, potentiometer. You can already see the display potentiometer. Okay, so I think this is the trimmers from the same company DGK. Will get a variable resistor or potentiometer with a line or log law. Okay, click on this and we can select a potentiometer. Is on the line. Okay, fine. Here we go. So just hold on a second. So this is section number. So now this is a potential. You see, for example, if you don't want this display, you can click on the display. You can remove this, delete this, so that will go away. That boring thing, that will go away. Okay. Here also we can disable the text off, so that things you can actually replace. You can relocate this display component. This also, if you don't want, you can delete this. This is just the name of the component. Very simple. Okay. Now you have a component. You can start using as according to your requirement. Wherever connection you want. So middle point. This middle point one is the variable point. One other two ends use the fixed point, fixed value. Guys, okay. Next component is LCD display. So let us look for some LCD display. So since this, the 7 segment display LED we have already done using hardware. So let us not discuss that here now. So I'll delete all this component, because not able to select this. Just hold on a second. Let me delete all this. Delete object. Delete object. I'll delete this. I wanted the potentiometer. Yes, correct. Instead of it's already there here, no issues. I can pick it again. Delete object. Delete object. I want the this VCC ground I require. So let me not delete this, and I'll place it somewhere here, so that I can connect the what do you call. Okay, because now when it comes to the the microcontroller, how to make the connection. So before we go to the LCD display, generally what we see in our microcontroller diagrams is that it has what is known as a. I'll jump to the LCD interfacing diagram. This manual is already shared with you guys. Yes, here it is. Okay. Generally, we see these components. There is a resistor and um, capacitor connected to the microcontroller. For example, let us say for pin number 18 and 19, is XTL1 pins. Crystal oscillator is connected with C1 and C2. Okay, and similarly for reset pin, push button is connected, which we can see in our Aryabhata board. This push button connected to reset pin through resistor and a capacitor. Okay, the intention of this capacitor is basically it is a filter, of course, so that no that so that this DC is applied to this reset, and the pin is always active low. Active low means when the switch is not pressed, it is corresponds to you can see that if switch is pressed, the pin is shorted to VCC. Okay, switch not pressed, it is shorted to ground. That's what it is. This connection in Proteus, we need not do it explicitly. We need not connect, reset pin to that resistor and capacitor, and pin number 1819. We need not connect to the external crystal oscillator until and unless frequency is different. Because for this 8089C51, the frequency was 33 megahertz. Let us say we want some other frequency, 11.0592 megahertz. Then we have to make that connection. Otherwise, we need not do it explicitly. Okay. So it is internally takes the frequency that we can see by right clicking on the component, right click and go to edit properties. Here we can see the frequency. So frequency of operation is 12 megahertz. We can change this also. We can make it 33 megahertz also. All this is possible. Okay. And also in the pin diagram, we don't find pin number 40. pin number 40 and pin number let's say 20. So pin number 40 is actually ground. Sorry, pin number 20 is ground. If you see this diagram, guys, pin number 40 of a microcontroller is VCC, and pin number 20 is ground. Pin number 40 is connected to 5 volts because it should not vary. With respect to 5 volts, it should be exactly 5 volts. These two pins we don't find it on the Protea software. In this logic, in this icon, because it is understood because it is works with 5 volts. It is internally, it considers, it's for simulation purpose. It takes it as connected, no problem. We don't need to explicitly connect the VCC and ground to the microcontroller IC. Okay, so that's about these pins, and this is for the external memory interface, program store enable, address latch enable, external enable, external access. Here stands for external access for external memory interfacing. We have port 1, 8 pins of port 1. Similarly, we have 8 pins of port 0. Port 2, similarly port 3. What we can find here is the port 0 and port 2 is specified with additional function it is used for. For example, port 0 carries the lower 8-bit lower byte of address as well as 8-bit of data, and port 2 carries upper 8-bit of or upper byte of a 16-bit address. So that's also shown here. Very simple. Okay. And port 3. Port 3 is also specified with additional function. Pin diagram is handy, is readily available. For interfacing, it becomes very easy. We need not look into the pin diagram. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let us go for a LCD display. Similar method. Go to component. Select search the component. It is a LCD display. In LCD display, again you'll find hundreds of various types of components. We find the driver ICs also. What we want is a display, LCD display. Now you will find a lot of display devices. So this very easy, is easy to find out. Instead of searching LCD, straight away you can search it as 16 cross 2, 16 cross 2 LCD display, and you'll find we end up with two components, 16 cross 2 alphanumeric LCD display and 16 cross 2 Milford alphanumeric LCD display. Okay, in our laboratory we make use of this alphanumeric LCD display with the what you call with let me read this. I'm not able to. Okay, with you know 16 pins, we select this one and click OK. So we can see that the component is placed on the devices list. Click on this and place it somewhere here. Click on this and place it somewhere here, so that we can make connections to the the microcontroller also. I'll place it somewhere here. Okay, here we go. So now yeah, so we have the both the components placed. Now let us make the connection. Out connection is very simple, guys. So VCC, we want VCC is here. We want VCC as well as the ground for the connection purpose. So if you can see the pin, the interfacing part. So we need the potentiometer also. Okay. So pin number 1 is connected to ground. Let me pick this. Let me connect some mirror. Not able to. Yes, some mirror. Okay. How to make the wire connection is very simple. Move the cursor to close to the icon. It will show some rectangle symbol that indicates it is the wiring connection. So pin number 2 is for the ground, and pin number 1 is connected to sorry, pin number 2 is VCC, pin number 1 is ground, and we want the this the pot potentiometer. Click on this component and sorry, click on this and place it somewhere here. uh, should be, let us place it somewhere here. Okay, so all this I need to because this will take space and this is not necessary also. Let us delete all this so that we have only the component. Let me rearrange this selection. Go to selection mode. It is easy to make the let me place it like this, the potentiometer close to pin number 2, so that we can make a connection to both the pin number 2 as well as pin number 1. Not able to try this. Just a second. Yes, here we go. Okay. So pin number 2 is of course VCC. Pin number 1 is connected to ground. Pin number 2 is also connected with the potentiometer, one end of the potentiometer. The other end of the potentiometer is connected to the, just a second, I'm not able to, okay. So I can move this so that, no, I guess I get, no, this is not okay. I have to move this ground a little better. So if I can make it a connection, okay. So let us do this. Number 1 to ground. On another end of the, this is, there is a wire here. That's why it is okay. So other end of the pot to the ground, and pin number 3 to the other end of the pot to the ground. Okay. No, it's not. The connection is okay. It's one and the same. Anyway, ultimate intention is to connect to the. Not able to. What is an issue? Let's wait. Let me remove this first. Let me make this connection. Okay. Now it's okay. Somehow it was not happy with the. Okay, this is fine. Pin number 3. Pin number 3 to this. And you can of course rearrange this, not an issue, something like this. Okay, so what about RS? And according to the program, I think you have seen in the last lab, program, RS pin is connected to, there is that is RS pin, register select pin, and the read write pin, and the enable pin is connected to P3.5, P3.4, and P3.3. There is RS pin is connected to P3.5, and RW pin P3.4. Similarly, enable pin to P3.3. I think I'm connected. Okay, here we go. Okay, this next is data pins. In the data pins, we use ports 2. In the program, please make this connection correction. I think in the program shared with you, it may be port 1. Change it to port 2, because in the Aryabhatta board we have an issue with P1.6. Programming error. So that's why we prefer port 2 for this. So connect it to port 2. Don't worry about this wire position. You can always resize it, not an issue. Okay. Similarly, pin number, this happens because how we move the, okay, I think, okay, this is okay, right, this okay, P2.0. Similarly, let us say all the data pins are connected to uh, data pins of LCD display is connected to port 2 pins of microcontroller. Okay. Yes, this software is useful for your final year project also. So because you have to do the hardware project, mostly you have to use microcontroller, and first you can simulate the project using this software. Either it's Arduino or any hardware. So and then you can go for the after simulation you can go for the actual hardware. Okay. Yes, in LCD is actually in this we find that pin number 15 and pin number 16 is missing. Okay. What is pin number 15 is? It is VCC plus VCC, and pin number 16 is ground. These two pins are not shown in the icon because it is understood that they are connected to 15 and ground. Okay, so it's not actually we connect using a resistor to these pins. It is not necessary. It is internally, connected, so that we need not to make a external connection. Is that okay? Fine. So this is about the connection. We have made the connection to the microcontroller. Next is the programming part. Yes, okay. Now to program the microcontroller, we need what is known as a X code. Ultimately, this is what we used to do: generate a X code, and burn it into the flash memory of 805 microcontroller. How to do this? Two way of doing this. One is using the Keel compiler. That is, let me open the Keel compiler. Okay. The other method is, I'll show you the other method. By the time the Keel compiler loads, I'll show you the other method. So hold on a second. Okay. One of the possibilities, because the kill takes time to load in my system, so right click on the no, the microcontroller. At the bottom, there's one option called as a edit source code. Click on the edit source code. Here it shows the properties of the microcontroller, details of the microcontroller. Like there's one more thing you have to observe. This it calls it as a new firmware project. Why it's a, we didn't select a firmware at all. Why it's a firmware project? Whenever we load program into any module in the Proteus, it calls it as a firmware project, because as we understood in the beginning, the hardware, sorry, the program burnt into the any module, especially microcontroller, the together data as well as code together, it's called as a firmware. Okay, so that's why it calls it as a firmware project. So in this there are multiple options, details it shows 8051 microcontroller controller, what we have selected. Compiler, here we can go for a default compiler, or we can go for a kill compiler, kill for 8051 compiler. Okay, select this and click OK. It shows like this. Okay, here you can paste the program, your you can type the program here. Okay, so let me pick one create a program. I think you have done both, few of I think you have done both the programs, no problem. So you can paste the program here. Your program is now ready. So you can, on the left hand side in the project window, you can see that the file is called as main.c. Okay. So after writing the program, of course you can rename this, no doubt. You can rename the file if you really want to, or else check for the syntax errors. How do we check for syntax errors in C program? Compile the file. It will compile the file. It will show the errors and the warnings. Then to create a X file, right click and click on build project. Okay, so this will make sure that it will generate a X code. It will automatically append it to the microcontroller module. We need not explicitly connect, just like we used to do in prog isp with software, where we have to select load function, and we used to load the X code. Here it is not necessary, it's internally, it will take care of. Okay, you have other options also in project settings. You can change the project settings, not an issue. This is one method of programming the microcontroller. Okay, the other method is our conventional kill compiler. Okay, so in the kill compiler, this I did today I was running some other program. Let me pick this program. Okay, you have the code. Okay, build target to check for the syntax errors. In fact, it is already Xcode, it is already generated. Okay, let me check the path. Output create X file. I think it was in desktop. So it's easy to search. It's already desktop. You can see, you can see the path. Create executables. It is on the desktop. Okay. So click OK. So right click, rebuild target, so that it will generate a X file. Once it generates X file, to convert our module into a firmware, we have to append the X file into the microcontroller module. Okay, so once the LCD, the X code is generated for our source code, next step is go to the the compiler, uh, sorry, Proteus software, to append the X code generated by some other compilers. For example, we have used our kill compiler to generate the X code. Right click on the microcontroller module, click on edit properties. In this edit properties, we can see, part reference, just a name. We can give this U1. We can give any name for this. The controller is 89C51. Okay. Yes, in this program file, you can see this line here. It is called as a program file. Here we have to provide the path of the X file. It will show some default path. Click on folder symbol. There is a browse symbol. Go to desktop. LCDX code is already generated. Select that and click open. Now that file path is appended. Ultimately, basically, you have the frequency. You can change the frequency also, but at this point, we are not changing the frequency anyway. LCD.x. Click on OK. Now the Xcode is appended to the microcontroller. So thereby now the project becomes a firmware. Earlier it was only a schematic. It was only schematic, simple schematic, module or schematic file. Now it is a firmware project. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Yes, once it is ready, connection is done. We can straight away start executing the project. So to execute the project, you can see one place symbol on the top, sorry, bottom left corner. Click on that. If everything is okay, connection wise everything is okay, it should start executing the program. It will start executing the code. Very simple. Okay, so this program what we have is a for the display the character. We can change the character and we can display. That is 8A program. In 8B program, we are going to display the character by scrolling the message. Okay, so for this purpose, scrolling message display, we have to use additional module. This module, this while loop helps in scrolling the message, display the message by scrolling. Okay, so by changing the command, we can control the way it is the way the display is the way the content is displayed. Okay, because for that let us look into the various commands and because this we are not discussed in our the earlier class. So this is our 16 pin LCD display, 16 cross 2 LCD display. That is, it has I need to change the color. Okay, so there are 16 columns and 2 rows. Okay, so VS pin number 1 ground, pin number 2 is for supplying 5 volts, pin number 3 is the contrast control. So 0 volts high contrast. Okay, as we vary the port, the we can control the contrast. Okay, and pin number 15, as we discussed, it is 5 volts supply. Pin number 16 is ground. Very simple. Pin number 4, RS register select, 0 for command register, because to this LCD display will send both the command as well as data. Command to control the operation of the LCD display, data for the display purpose. Okay, so this register or memory of the this LCD display can be used as a command register, or it can be used as a data register. So once it is sent with 0, it is used as a command register. Once it is sent with 1, it is used as a data register. I think this we discussed in the last language. I don't remember. Is it in your batch or some in the other batch? I'm not sure. Anyway, read write 0 for to write the data, 1 to read the data. Of course, what we read the data from this memory, the cursor position, for example. So based on the cursor position, we can display the data. E for enable. Enable should be high to low pulse. Okay, it is not like it is always low pulse, or it should not be high always. Only if it is high to low transition, the memory is enabled. Yes, hold on a second, let me. The this what you call enable should be high to low. Okay, so it's the high to low transition will enable the LCD display. Yes, next is data, D0 to D7 data pins. In the out of 8 pins, D7 corresponds to busy flag pin. D7 is also used as a busy flag pin because it indicates, it tells the microcontroller that the display device is in, busy in writing the data to the display device. There are various commands. There are totally so various commands for the to control the operation of the LCD display. Command 1 to clear the display screen, so that fresh we can start displaying the data. 2, return home. 4 is for the decrement the cursor, shift cursor to the left position with respect to the when we hold the LCD display like this. So this is the left to right movement of the cursor, and this is the right to left movement of the cursor. So command 6, increment the cursor, that is shift the cursor to the right position. 5, to shift display to the right. Whatever, for example, in our 8B, we are going to display the content as well as we are going to shift to the right. We can shift to the left also using the command 7. In the command 808, actually command 8 means is hexadecimal display. We are using D0 to D7 to send the data as well as the command. So when we say 8, it is not only 8, it is 08H. Basically, it is 8-bit data. It is a 8-bit data. Okay, 08 to display the display off and cursor off. Okay, both the display as well as cursors both are off. Command A, that is 0AH, corresponds to display off but cursor is on. See, display on, cursor is off. That means it doesn't display blink the cursor. No, cursor is not indicated. Cursor cannot be seen. 0EH, display on, cursor is blinking. Okay. In what we in our case, what we see now is basically cursor is blinking. In that particular position, the data will be displayed. Command F, display on, cursor is blinking. It looks same, correct? These two commands look same, E and F. Okay, this next, because I'm not need to cross check, because this is what I got in the internet. Okay, this I'll verify. Okay, command E and F. Difference between command E and F. Command 10 10H, not 10. It is 10H. Okay, shift cursor position to the left, one position at a time. 14 14H, shift cursor position to the right, one position at a time. Command 18, shift entire display to the left. Okay. Similarly, one C, shift entire display to the right. 80H, force cursor to the beginning of the first line. Out of two rows, 16 cross 2. Okay. So it will force the cursor to the beginning of the first row. ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಟ್ ಅಂತೆ ನೀನು ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಸೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಂದಿತ್ತು ನಂದೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಲಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಆಯಿತಾ ಓಕೆ ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ and command C0 for force cursor to the beginning of the second line. So beginning of the second line. So we have two lines. We can display either in the first line or the second line. Okay. 38H, it will select only two lines, and 5 cross 7 matrix. Okay. So these are the various commands. Various commands and okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So yes, in the I think program part we have discussed, guys. Let us not go into this again. So there is a delay function between the display. There is a delay function used. Okay, and LCD command to send the command to the LCD display. So the requirement is RS should be 0 because command register is used. There is register is used as a command register. Read the data into the write the data into the command register. Enable pin should go from high to low with some delay. Enable pin should go from high to low with some delay. Okay, so this also we have seen. And next LCD data to send the data to the the LCD display. Here we are using display port, that is P2 in our case, to send the data. Display data is received as an argument to this function from the main program. So enable again is a transition from high to low, very simple. Okay, next LCD initialization is first thing is we have to prepare the LCD display for display purpose. So two lines, 5 cross 2 and 10 to turn on the display cursor blinking. There is 0fh command. With some delay, 01 to clear the screen, and 81 to bring the cursor position back to the first position of the first line, and some delay. So commands are executed with some delay. In the main program, create an array, load the characters to be displayed, initialize. Okay, so call the initialization function, LCD initialization. Okay, and load the data first, LCD data, send the data byte by byte to the LCD display function. Okay, and between display we will call a delay function with some delay, 50 milliseconds or 50 microseconds. Milliseconds, basically it is a millisecond function. This is 5A and sorry 8A program. In 8B, this we have with the scroll functions the same program, not much of a change except the last function while loop. In this while loop, what happens is we are using the 1C command to shift the cursor to the right position with some delay, so that the character shift. It is not the just a cursor shift. It is a character shift towards right with some delay. Okay, so that's the difference between 8A and 8B programs. Is that okay, guys? So we can have a slight change in the program, like display it on the second row. So for display it on the second row, what we have to do? We have to change the command. We have to change the command. Instead of first line, we have to select the second line. So these changes can be done. That's okay. So this is about LCD program. So since we had already done the hardware connection, so not an issue. So 8C program is a exercise program. You have to do this. You have to write in the record also. So in the next time when you start visiting the college, you have to write in the record 8A, 8B, 8C, as well as ninth program. So in the next slide, what we do is you write the program and you can display it on the protest. Okay, the 9A, 9B, 9C, and 9D programs. Okay, it is very simple. So these programs can be written based on the our experience of writing the programs so far, from first experiment to eighth experiment. This is it, okay, guys? Yes, any doubt in this? Proteus software is very simple. You can start using it. You can use it for various purposes, not just you have motor modules also. A lot of components are available. You can use it for various purposes. It's very useful for your projects. It's in project. It's a must. I guess you better to use this. The what you call Proteus software to simulate before you go to the actual hardware. Yes, okay. Is that okay? Uh, so report, sorry, not report. What is that? The record. Okay, rate the record, complete the record. I think by the time you visit the college, let the record be complete so that we can start, evaluating the record, finalizing the marks. So this ninth experiment is basically 4 experiment. It is taken as 2 experiments. 9A, 9B is ninth experiment. 9C and 9D is 10 experiments. Totally there are 10 experiments with 2 exercise experiments in the experiment 6 and 8. If I'm not wrong, experiment number 6 and 8, there are exercise programs. So make sure that you write exercise programs in the record also. Okay, I think 6C may not have written. You can write at the end, not an issue. Okay, 6C program exercise. Similarly, sorry, 7C also, 7C as well as 8C. 8C exercise program. 6, 7, 8 as a exercise program, and ninth is anyway exercise program. All the programs are exercise programs. That's okay. If you don't have any doubt, we can conclude the lab session here. Okay, so thank you. Thanks for joining. See you in the next lab.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.